Well, I had to get this sound before we get going. Ain't no laws when you're drinking a claws. Have you seen the memes that said everything was going good until y'all started drinking that seltzer beer? Does that count, White Claw? I would imagine, right? This was what, summer 2019, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Anyhow, welcome into another edition of Quarantine Cards. This is round 6, believe it or not. I'm TC Popcorn, your host, and an answer to the Schaumburg Boomers crossword puzzle today. 12 across, maybe it was 11 across. TC Popcorn. At TC Popcorn on Twitter, ditto on the Insta. Share, like, comment, all of the above, and on the Facebook as well. Don't have a lot to get into today before we go to the cards, so it won't be 23 minutes long. I'm wearing a Boston Red Sox hat today because it was not opening day. I don't know if the Red Sox were supposed to play or not today anyway. But I did think it was cool that Major League Baseball was showing a lot of best of games. I'm seeing some posts on Facebook right now of a lot of Cubs highlights with Game 7 of the World Series. Rajay Davis was actually on with a friend of mine in one of his podcasts today. That name. Ugh, still sends shivers down my back. I was at a soccer match that night, Game 7. And I sprinted to get through everything done so I could get home to watch the end. Well, it was getting close to that point, so I went straight to a local establishment because I wanted to celebrate. Had a drink, watched Rajay Davis hit the home run, quickly paid and got the heck out of there because I didn't want to be around a lot of people if things didn't go the way that they did. And of course, the Cubs would later end up winning. Thank you, Jason Hayward, for the rain delay talk. So today was supposed to be opening day. Would you have been at a ballpark? I know the Cubs were supposed to open at what we refer to as Wrigley North, the land of the beer makers, which is not going to be known as Miller Park anymore. I think there's one more year of Miller Park this season, and then it changes sponsorship names next year. How can you have a team named the Brewers not playing in Miller Park when the headquarters of Miller Beer are like not even a mile from the stadium? I don't know. It bewilders me. PSA for today, besides wash your damn hands, water your plants. One thing that I didn't realize, with my being at home for as long as we are, and again, my place of employment is virtual all the way until the end of May. I had a plant, it's a dry water plant, so it only needs to be watered once a month. And I had just watered it for the last time before the quarantine period started. So hopefully it lasts for the month and a half. We'll find out. But water your plants. I was watering mine today. Pretty neat. I was also going to get into some more Frontier League stories, I think. Not in this episode. I was going through and finding a lot of old Frontier League stuff down here in the basement that I had put together. I'm trying to make some like Frontier League history things for my walls at the Boomer Stadium in the broadcast booth. So we'll see what happens. Also want to go a little bit quicker because I want to get to Tiger King. Got to watch that crazy show. Everybody's talking about it now. I'm wearing a Dave Matthews Band shirt. Dave performed for about an hour today in a show in his basement. And one of my friends texted me because it looked like he was going to play one more song. Dave literally went like this, like he was going to do one more, and then it cut off like he was done. So we were texting back and forth during the show, and he goes, "Come on, I know you were in your tighty whities standing up screaming one more song in your basement." I know, Eric. I was not. Thank you, though. With that, let's get into some cards. So I think this is the end of my most recent stuff. We've got Topps Heritage 2019. This is the first series. We went through the high number series in, I think, my first episode. And then I got another round of opening day cards for you. I can start scrolling through some of these ones again. We'll see if I do that or if I dig into the pack and find some oldie but goodie cards in there that I can whip out as well. So that'll be the coming episodes. This is number 6. Number 7 is on the way. Let's start with the opening day. 7 trading cards, as we have discussed previously. Still don't have any broadcasters, though. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Rookie card of Kyle Lewis from the Seattle Mariners. He played at Arkansas and hit 263 last year, or 2019, yep. Carlos Correa, my thoughts on him and the Astros in general. I guess I should relax a little bit. Here's Brendan McKay from the Tampa Bay Rays. Between Montgomery and Durham, he was 6-0 with a 1.10 ERA. 102 strikeouts in 73 and two-thirds innings. Those are some impressive numbers. Looks like he's got a bright future ahead. Jacob deGrom, sorry about it. Mets have injuries piling up left and right. My gosh. So he's not going to be as valuable now because of all the injuries that are happening with the New York Metropolitans. Here is Corey Seager of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Let's see. Didn't immediately hit his stride in 2019 following elbow and hip surgeries. But by August, he was in full rake mode. Hit 272 for the season, 44 doubles, 19 homers, 87 knocked in. JT Realmuto for the Philadelphia Phillies. He actually just got named. I saw an interesting poll recently. MLB.com is looking for content, obviously, along with everybody else without the season. Rob Manfred released a very lengthy statement today. Mike Trout had a nice little baseball soliloquy. Anthony Rizzo for the Cubs had a long one as well today. But JT Realmuto was actually named as the best catcher in the history of the Florida/Miami Marlins, which I thought was interesting. He was there from 14 to 18. First year with the Phillies last year, hit 275, 25 homers, and 83 driven in. Not only that, but he's pretty good defensively. It's been 20 years since a Phillies catcher threw out as many runners as JT did. But he's more than just an arm. He won the Heart and Hustle Award winner for the backstop, which has led the team in RBIs since 2018. So, nifty for you. Yeah, I was trying to think in my head of who the Cubs would have as their all-time catcher. Carlton Fisk was named the all-time catcher for the White Sox and the Red Sox, which I thought was interesting. I believe Gabby Hartnett was who they said for the Cubs. So I certainly couldn't think of anyone recently. I mean, if you're thinking of recent Cubs backstops, off the top of my head, right? Let's go Damon Berryhill, Miguel Montero. Wilson Contreras is probably the best one of recent. Rick Wilkins was a name that popped into my head as well. Jody Davis had a good run, of course, in the 80s. So, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on those ones. Then we got a opening day card in San Diego, Padres and Giants, March 28th of 2019. 2-day block party featuring food trucks, music, and games. Welcome baseball season back to San Diego. Food trucks. Have you seen them out there anywhere? I don't know if they can produce under the quarantine or the stay-at-home rules. But if you ever see Toasty Chi anywhere out in Chicago, get them. Trust me. You won't be disappointed. Now we go into 9 cards of Topps Heritage 2019. This is the first run from last year. They had a high number series, which came out later. The first run of the 2020 cards are out. And they have a very slick look. The 2019 cards are in the 1970s design with the players of today. And they are a very popular set of cards. We start with Alex Gordon from the Royals. Let's see. On the back of his card, it says Alex is 5th in Kansas City history in doubles. They have these kind of cool little nuggets with a little tiny player there. He hit 24 doubles in 2018 and hit 245. He's on the downside of his career, but still a very productive left-handed hitter. Multiple fielding awardee who led the American League in outfield assists with 83 since 2010. Here are the National League home run leaders from 2018. Quick, can you name one? Christian Yelich, probably an easy one on the top of your head. Matt Carpenter had a big 2018, had a disappointing 2019 for the Cardinals. But you got Nolan Arenado in there, along with Trevor Story from the Rockies. Story has proved to be a very good, consistent keeper for the Rockies, interestingly enough. I sat next to his high school coach at Wrigley Field in the first week of his pro career. Arenado hit 38 home runs to lead the National League in homers in 2018. Here's Alex Cobb with the Orioles in 2019. His first year with the Orioles in 2018, a 4.90 ERA, was 5-15. Big step back. But he was injured and was the Orioles, right? It says he had elbow surgery in the rear view, turned around his 2018 completely in the middle of July, 2.59 ERA in his final 11 starts. Still, the Orioles. Are they going to be any better this year? They're talking about playing 7-inning doubleheaders, and they're like, oh, they need to have bigger rosters, and is that going to hurt the pitchers? How are 7-inning doubleheaders going to hurt the pitchers? If you have a good starter who can go 7 innings, and it's what they do in the minor leagues all the time. Maybe you'll need some pitching because if you have a game where you got to have the starter go 4 and 3 different relievers or whatever, but that reliever rule is changing this year. Doubleheaders, I don't think, are the worst thing in the world. I know a lot of people out there in Major League Baseball are against them for how they're going to get this schedule in and what they're going to do. I'm still curious to see how that's going to transpire. Here's Brad Hand from the Cleveland Indians. Closer for the Tribe, 2-time All-Star closer in San Diego. Shared the role with Cody Allen. Slider is his signature pitch. He had 41 strikeouts and 27 2/3 with the Indians in 2018. Speaking of closers, here's an outspoken one. Sean Doolittle. Kind of lost his role as a closer with the Nats, but still pretty stinking good. Second Midsummer Classic in a dominant 2018 campaign. Amazing fastball. Helped them finish with 10 times as many strikeouts as walks. Wow. 2018, Sean Doolittle had 60 strikeouts and only 6 walks, and opponents hit only 135 against him. Yowzers. Here's an American League Championship Series card. It is Game 2. On the front is Jackie Bradley Jr. It says, Jackie clears ducks on the pond. Black and white photo. On the back is the box score. Doesn't give me any details about how he cleared the pond. Let's see, does he have a grand slam? Nope, he just drove in 3, so probably a double, and given that it was in the 3rd inning and he had 3 RBIs, that's the only inning the Red Sox scored 3 runs in. That's my guess. We were talking about JT Realmuto earlier with the Phillies. Well, here is Jorge Alfaro, who was with the Phillies as well, also a catcher. Set the team's rookie record by throwing out 21 runners attempting to steal. That's a pretty good catching combo, huh? 108 games for the Phils in 2018 at 262 with 10 homers, 37 driven in. Speaking of injured pitchers, Chris Sale. Kind of a sporting news card. It's an all-star card. Check out the back of that one. 35-inning scoreless streak in 2018. Ain't going to happen in 2020 no matter how many games they play because he's having Tommy John surgery. And one more card. It's another ALCS card. Can't beat that Price. David Price in black and white. He has since been traded to LA. What's crazy is that they show the box score on the back. As I showed you earlier, the card just fell through the crack of the sofa, so I'm not going to be able to look at it for you. But they have David Price on the front. They don't have any pitching stats on the back. It's all the hitting stats from the box score. So, anyway, that's another edition of Quarantine Cards Round 6. We'll be back at you. Let's see, tonight's Thursday. So I'll be back at you on Saturday night, posting another one on Sunday. Hope you're enjoying. Reach out, share, like, as I said, at TC Popcorn on Twitter. And I hope to have plenty more fun with you. We got some more time, that's for sure. Cheers, my friends.